You know, when we talk about what makes a strong society, the word community always comes up. But what does it actually mean to make a community, well, whole? Just think about this for a second. What if in that moment you really truly need help? It wasn't this huge maze of phone calls and paperwork. What if it was just there the second you asked for it? Well, in central Massachusetts, there's an organization, one of the most active in the whole region, that's trying to make that what if a reality. We're going to talk about GAAMHA and how they're completely rethinking what community support looks like. So, GAAMHA, and you pronounce it gamma, is built on this really simple but honestly profound idea that everyone deserves a seat at the table. It doesn't matter what their struggle is. And believe me, that single idea is driving some seriously powerful change. So their mission, it's not just about, handing out services. It's much bigger than that. It's about creating a world where anyone can get help right when they ask for it, no matter who they are. It's a promise, really. And what does that promise look like in the real world? Well, it boils down to restoring two things that so often get lost in the shuffle: dignity and choice. It's about empowering people, not just, managing their cases. Okay, so that's a pretty bold mission, right? So how do you actually pull it off? For GAAMHA, it all comes back to 5 core values. These are the things that guide every single move they make. And here they are. It starts with respect. Then there's humility, integrity, and empathy, really feeling where someone is coming from. And then, and this one is so important, persistence. They don't give up on people, period. And it's not just them saying this. You can see it from the outside looking in. Steve Adams, who's the president of the Community Foundation of North Central Massachusetts, he said their compassion is unwavering. And that's not just some corporate buzzword, right? That comes from living and breathing those values day in and day out. All right, so with that solid foundation of values, GAAMHA has built something really unique. It's not just a list of separate programs. They've created what they call a human services ecosystem. The whole idea is to support the entire person. First up is recovery, and we're talking about really innovative person-centered treatment, so no one-size-fits-all stuff here. For instance, get this, one of their residential programs, the Carl E. Dollhouse, is on a massive 115-acre equestrian estate. I mean, talk about a different approach to helping people find their footing, right? But supporting the whole person, it's more than just that first step. So the next pillar is enrichment, because recovery isn't just about stopping something, it's about starting something new. It's about building a life that has real purpose and a sense of belonging. So they do things like create personalized support plans and help people find meaningful jobs and reconnect with their community. And the last piece of this ecosystem, and it's a huge one, is connection. I mean, think about it. How can you be part of a community if you literally can't get there? GAAMHA has a fleet of over 40 accessible vehicles to make sure that transportation is never, ever a barrier. Not for a job, not for an appointment, not for just being a part of things. It's kind of like the glue that holds this whole thing together. Okay, so we've got this ecosystem, but how does it actually work? Like, what's the real, tangible impact on a person and on the whole community? Let's follow that journey. So it all starts with support from the community, right? Donations that fund these amazing programs. That support allows clients to jump in, get stable. From there, GAAMHA helps them find a job. That job leads to a stable income, which means stable housing. And once a person is stable and thriving, they can start to contribute back to their community, reconnect with loved ones, and that success inspires more people to offer support. It's this incredible positive cycle of healing and growth. And that's the thing. This journey, this comeback story, it doesn't just happen in a bubble. It creates this powerful ripple effect that actually strengthens the entire community. And the scale of this ripple, it's staggering. Every single year, GAAMHA serves over 13,000 people. Just pause and think about that for a second. That is thousands and thousands of individual lives moving toward wholeness. And if not just in one town either, their work reaches out and touches more than 47 different communities across the region. They're building this incredible web of support exactly where it's needed.
And this isn't some newfangled idea. GAAMHA has been at this, building this legacy, learning, and getting better for over 58 years. That's almost 6 decades of building trust and getting real, proven results.
But look, behind all these big numbers are real people with real stories. Listen to what Miranda, who's a resident at one of their homes, said. "The fire is rekindled in me. Wow, the fire is rekindled. That says it all, doesn't it? It's not just about services, it's about reigniting a person's entire spirit.
And here's another one from John, who went through the Carl E. Dahl House program. He put it so perfectly. He said, "They came alongside me and helped me until I could help myself." And that right there, that is the core of their whole philosophy. It's not a handout, it's a partnership. It's about empowerment.
So, this all brings us right back to where we started. GAAMHA is showing us, proving really, that when we invest in people, when we're willing to explore these uncharted ways of supporting each other, we don't just save individuals, we literally make our entire community whole. And that leaves us with one last question to think about. When we make sure that everyone has a seat at the table, what else becomes possible?